Caitlin Clark was the overwhelming choice to be the face of the WNBA in the next 5 years. It has been an up-and-down season for Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark. The Fever star has struggled to stay healthy, spending 3 separate stints on the sidelines with injuries. Clark had played in every game since her sophomore year of high school at Dowling Catholic, but has not stayed healthy this season. After suffering a minor injury in the preseason, Clark's status for the beginning of the season was up in the air. She rested for the final game of the preseason and was ready on opening night against the Chicago Sky. She posted a triple-double with 20 points, 10 points, and 10 rebounds in a dominating win over the Sky. Clark played in the first 5 games of the season before suffering a left quad injury that sidelined her for 2 weeks. After she made her return, she played in 5 more games before suffering a left groin injury, sidelining her for another 5 games. She was hoping to stay healthy before the All-Star break as a captain for one of the teams, and was going to participate in the 3-point competition. The injury bug struck again, sidelining her for All-Star weekend. Clark has played only 13 games this season, and the Fever have a 12-11 overall record. Even with Clark's struggles to stay healthy, her peers still feel she will be the next face of the WNBA. The Athletic surveyed nearly 40 players, asking them who would be the next face of the WNBA within the next 5 years. With nearly 54% of the vote, Clark was the overwhelming favorite, ahead of USC's Juju Watkins, Dallas Paige Buchers, and Chicago's Angel Reese. The Athletic stated it was difficult for multiple players to pick one face of the league, as over 10 players responded with 2 choices. Clark was the favorite by a wide margin and has been one of the most popular players in the league since the Indiana Fever drafted her with the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft. In 2 seasons, Clark has shattered multiple WNBA and Indiana franchise records, has been an All-Star in both seasons, was the 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year, and a 2024 First-Team All-WNBA selection. Clark has the potential to be the face of the league within the next 5 years, but the WNBA is in good hands with multiple talented young players and the current star power in the league. From the moment Caitlin Clark stepped into the WNBA, there was an electricity in the air that even the most seasoned stars hadn't seen in years. It wasn't just her logo-range threes or her ability to thread impossible passes. It was the feeling that something larger was unfolding. Something generational. By her 3rd month in the league, she had already sold out more arenas than anyone else, had more merchandise flying off shelves than any WNBA rookie in history, and every pregame warm-up video went viral before the ball was even tipped. The fans knew it. The media knew it. The sponsors definitely knew it. And so did the league. The face of the future. In a closed-door meeting between WNBA executives and franchise leaders ahead of the All-Star break, one item was quietly moved to the top of the agenda. How do we shape the next 5 years around Caitlin Clark? She's not just a star, said one marketing director from the New York Liberty. She's a movement. Caitlin's arrival had shattered decades-old attendance records and pulled in a new wave of fans. Young girls mimicking her form in driveways, college kids debating her GOAT status on TikTok, and even longtime NBA fans tuning into the W for the first time. The WNBA, historically cautious with its branding strategy, was suddenly faced with something they couldn't resist. A player who transcended sports and culture, with a spotlight big enough to illuminate the entire league. Caitlin's reluctant crown. But Caitlin didn't ask for the crown. In fact, she hesitated to wear it. "I just want to hoop," she told reporters in her first national press conference. "If what I do helps bring more eyes to the league, then that's great. But I'm here to win, not just be a headline." Her humility only fueled the fire. Every gritty drive to the rim, every stare down after a 3, every time she lifted a struggling Indiana Fever team to victory, it all became part of a mythos in real time. Legends weren't just born from stats, they were built from stories. And Caitlin Clark's story was writing itself in bold font, game by game. A league in her image. By mid-season, conversations shifted from whether Caitlin was a star to how the WNBA could evolve with her at the center. Social media coverage doubled. Nike unveiled the C44 signature line with an unprecedented campaign across the U.S., complete with court takeovers and street murals. WNBA games featuring Caitlin were moved into primetime national slots. But it wasn't all branding and buzz. The impact was real. Young girls started filling youth leagues in record numbers, often wearing ponytails and Fever jerseys. Collegiate ticket prices skyrocketed for schools lucky enough to land on the same court as Caitlin's alma mater, Iowa. Even the WNBA's digital app saw a 300% spike in subscriptions, with most traffic routed through Clark-related content. The Caitlin effect was no longer a theory. It was the blueprint. Veterans and visionaries. Not everyone was instantly on board. Some veteran players questioned the weight being thrown behind one rookie, regardless of her popularity. "She's great," said one all-star anonymously. "But the league has been full of greatness for years. Where was this kind of support when we were balling out without the cameras?" But even skepticism began to evolve into solidarity. Caitlin was quick to share credit, constantly shouting out teammates like Aaliyah Boston and opponents like Eriko Gunbowl. She insisted the media put respect on those who paved the way. In an early July interview, she said, "I'm standing on the shoulders of giants: Lisa Leslie, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, Maya Moore, Sabrina, Aya, Kelsey. They walked so I could run. I want to open doors for the next girl the way they did for me." That humility made her not just respected, but beloved.